My parents humiliated me at my sister's graduation. That day, what should have been a celebration for Elena, my older sister, turned into one of the most painful memories of my life. When my parents got up to speak in her honor, I expected them to praise her hard work and achievements. She had just finished college, landed a great job, and truly deserved recognition. Instead, they decided to make jokes at my expense. In front of relatives and close friends, they said they should have stopped having children after Elena because second-borns are usually useless. They laughed as if it were harmless humor, while I sat there stunned, ashamed, and completely exposed. To my horror, the room joined in with laughter. No one looked at me with sympathy. Not one relative spoke up. It wasn't the first time my parents had favored Elena. Growing up, she was always the perfect daughter. Quiet, polite, accomplished. I was the loud, opinionated, difficult one. They missed my birthdays but never hers. They punished me for being outspoken while praising her introversion as maturity. I tried for years to fit their mold, hoping they'd love me the way they loved her, but eventually I realized nothing I did would ever measure up. Still, until that graduation, most of their favoritism had stayed within the family. That night, they humiliated me openly, leaving no room for denial. And then, as if to drive the knife deeper, they gifted Elena a brand new car in front of everyone. The applause was deafening. I had never felt more like a stranger in my own family. After the ceremony, I finally confronted them. For years I had stayed quiet, convincing myself things might get better. But I couldn't anymore. I told them how deeply their words had hurt me. Their response crushed me further. I was exaggerating, too sensitive, and overreacting. My father even told me he had nothing to be proud of when it came to me. Elena, instead of supporting me, defended them. She told me that if I studied and worked harder, I could make them proud too. That was the final straw. From that moment, I stopped trying to win their approval. I poured everything into building my own future. 2 years later, I earned a full scholarship to my dream university. For the first time, I had something that was entirely mine. When I told my parents, they were shocked, not proud, just surprised. My mother even admitted they hadn't saved a cent for my education, unlike what they had done for Elena. That made it easy to pack my things, move out, and cut all ties. For years, I ignored their attempts to contact me. I built a new life, studying, working part-time, making friends who saw me for who I really was. I didn't miss them. I didn't wonder how they were doing. Until one day I received an email that changed everything. They told me Elena had developed a drug addiction. She had lost her job, spent her savings, and was in a desperate situation. At first I didn't believe it. Elena had always been their perfect golden child. But then my parents accused me of introducing her to drugs, something I have never touched in my life. It was disgusting but typical of them to make me their scapegoat. When I suggested rehab, they refused, terrified of ruining the family's reputation. Instead, they begged me to come home and help take care of her in secret. I was furious. Even now, with Elena suffering, they cared more about appearances than about saving her life. I told them the only real option was professional treatment, but they refused to hear it. And so I was left torn. Elena is still my sister and I care about her. But helping her might mean letting my parents back into my life. The same parents who dismissed me, humiliated me, and never once gave me the respect I deserved. Later, I decided to reach out to Elena directly. Hearing her voice broke my heart. She admitted she had been struggling for years, drowning under the pressure of always being perfect. Drugs started as a way to cope with stress, and before she knew it, she was addicted. For the first time, I saw how much our parents had damaged both of us. Me by neglect and rejection, and her by crushing expectations. Now, I don't know what will happen. I want to support Elena, but I also know I can't let my parents drag me back into their toxic cycle. For once, the choice is mine.